Good afternoon, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Audible, Sheila, audible.
Okay, thank you.
Vinolia, are you there? Oh, you're not audible, ma'am.
Always, ma'am. Am I audible?
Audible, ma'am, audible.
Bhavai ma'am, may I audible?
Who is this? Yeah, you're audible. You're audible.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Am I audible?
Audible, Geeta ma'am. Audible.
வீடியோ எடுத்துக்கோங்க தெரியுதா கேமரா எடுக்கலையே
Good afternoon, madam. Good afternoon, all.
மியூட்ல இருக்கீங்களா மேம்?
Really?
Audible, ma'am. Geeta ma'am
Good
voice is audible, ma'am. Audible, ma'am. Geeta ma'am.
Good afternoon, madam. Yeah, madam. I'm audible, madam, for you.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, madam, you are
Am I
audible.
audible?
Yeah, you are audible, madam.
Hello.
Hello, madam.
Hello.
Ma'am, you are audible, ma'am. Rita ma'am, you are audible.
Hello. சுத்தமா சவுண்ட் கேட்கல டேசி. கேமரா டிடெக்ட் பண்ண முடியலையா? Ma'am, I don't know. I have some issues.
No, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am. Rita ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. I'll start off.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Geeta
A
ma'am,
very
shall we start?
good afternoon to one and all.
Good afternoon, madam. Rita, madam.
I have
Can we
some
start?
problem in my video is not there, but still I'll start off.
Okay. Pavai, you can start.
Yes, ma'am. Sheila?
Yes, ma'am.
வாய்ஸும் கேட்கல எனக்கு வீடியோவும் கேட்கல. I'll use my mobile instead.
Shall we start, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. You start.
Every day starts with some expectation, but every day ends with some experience. A warm good afternoon to one and all present here. Welcome the changes. Look for the opportunities in every
Very good afternoon
situation
to one and all.
to learn and
Sorry
grow
for
in
the technical
wisdom.
issues.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
So we have a session on interdisciplinary learning, working across disciplines. So before I start the session,
Madam, you wait for 5
it's
minutes.
going to be a very
Give us the
interactive
welcome
session,
address.
and you can chat in the chat box for the questions which I ask. Let us think about the world today. Is the world very simple now or very complex? How is the world? Simple or complex? Do we have problems in the world or no problems? Okay, ma'am. Okay. But எனக்கு உங்க வாய்ஸ் கேட்கல. கீதா மேம் பேசுறது சுத்தமா கேட்கலையே. சரி நான் ரொம்ப இன்ட்ராக்ஷன் வச்சுட்டு அப்புறம்
Sheila, start.
Every day starts with some expectation, but every day ends with some experience. A warm good afternoon to one and all present here. Welcome the challenges, look for opportunities in every situation to learn and grow in wisdom. I would like to invite Mrs. Maria Suganti to deliver the welcome address.
A great welcome makes a merry feast. On behalf of Faculty of Education, Dr. MJR Educational Research Institute, it's my privilege to extend a cordial welcome to you all. We would like to welcome Dr. Rita Rani Mandal, Assistant Professor from Lady Wellington Institute of Advanced Study in Education, Chennai. Hearty welcome to you, ma'am. We express our sincere gratitude to our Honorable President and all the executives for giving this opportunity to organize this short-term course. We would like to welcome Dr. K. Geeta, Principal, Faculty of Education, Dr. MJR Education and Research Institute. With tremendous pleasure, we welcome all the participants, faculty members, students, and research scholars for this third day of short-term course. Once again, a gracious welcome to one and all present here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your gracious welcome. Great speakers are not born, they are trained. Now I invite Mrs. C. Geeta, Assistant Professor, to introduce our chief guest.
I am immensely pleasure to take the opportunity to introduce our resource person of today's session, Dr. Rita Rani Mandal, Assistant Professor of Education English, Lady Wellington Institute of Advanced Science in Education, Chennai. She worked for 11 years in private schools and 18 years at collegiate level. She is a recognized guide of Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Chennai, and Bharathiar University, Coimbatore. She has been acted as a doctoral committee member for MPhil and PhD scholars at Anna University, Tamil Nadu Open University, and other autonomous B.Ed colleges. She has been the member of Research Forum of Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University. She has guided 12 MPhil and 3 PhD students. She has published many articles in national and international journals. She authored 5 books and written 3 book chapters. She has been the member of editorial board of national and international journals. She has chaired many national and international conferences. She has done UGG projects. She has been acted as a member of board of studies of TNTU. It's a privilege to such an eminent speaker of today's session. We wholeheartedly welcome you, ma'am. Now the session is yours, ma'am. Please.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful introduction. Words may inspire, but action creates change. Now, I would like to invite our expert and eminent person, resource person, to deliver a valuable speech. Ma'am, Dr. Rita Rani Mandal, Assistant Professor, Lady Wellington Institute of Advanced Study in Education, Chennai. Kindly accept our virtual bouquet, ma'am.
Welcome, madam. Accept our virtual bouquet.
Ma'am, please, the session is yours.
Pave, you have to call her and tell, I think. She's not able to hear our voice.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm calling her, ma'am. I'm calling her. Dear participants, our resource person is having some net issue. She will be joined soon. Kindly wait for a few more minutes. Rita ma'am, is that okay for you?
One second.
You're audible, ma'am. You're
Okay,
audible.
thank you. Thank you. I'm very sorry. I don't know. I had a lot of network issues.
It's okay, ma'am. It's okay. Now it's fine, ma'am.
Okay, start off. My voice is audible?
Audible, ma'am. Audible. We will share the PPT, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, dear participants. As I've introduced, I'm a teacher, and the topic for today is interdisciplinary learning. Just before starting the topic, let's discuss a few things. Now, I'll just tell you a small problem and think about how we can solve this problem. Okay, there's a concept called better breakfast, better brain power. Better breakfast, better brain power. What do you understand by this? You think we know that the CM has started a scheme for free breakfast for the primary students. Okay, so when we have a scheme called better breakfast, better brain power, so this particular concept was conceptualized by taking into consideration many aspects. Okay, so the brain functions well only when we have breakfast. So this was a problem which was found that the students who are attending classes, they were not concentrating on classes. Then there was a lot of research that went into it, and the policymakers, the educationists, the psychologists, the people from doctors and all came together. They sat down and conceived the concept that the students were not able to perform academically well because they were not able to have breakfast. That's okay. They will share. PPT is not necessary now. The organizers will share the PPT. Okay, you just don't bother about that. That's nothing to do with PPT. I've already sent the PPT to the organizers and they'll be sharing it. I hope my voice is audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ma'am, you can share the PPT. So what happened is, so all these people came together and they conceived the concept that only when we give our students breakfast, they will be able to attend classes, and their cognition function will be better. So what we understand in this is, when we want to solve any real-time issue, we can't consider of one particular subject. So this issue of better breakfast, better brain power was understood by considering different subjects like psychology, human anatomy, then education, something also socioeconomic power of the student, the culture of the society. All these concepts were taken into consideration, and only after that, this particular problem was solved. So generally in our life, the life is very, very complex. It's not as simple as we think. Okay.
Ma'am, you're not audible, ma'am. Rita, ma'am. Yeah, participants, kindly wait for a few more minutes. I think she's having a technical issue. She will be joined soon with us. Kindly wait for a few more minutes.
Dear participants, kindly wait for a few more minutes. Our resource person have a technical glitch.
Rita, ma'am, is that okay for you? Rita, ma'am?
Hello. இப்போ audible ஆமா? headset remove பண்ணிட்டேன். I'm using இதுல தான் லேப்டாப் தான் யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன். பட் அதுல வந்து வால்யூம் வரும் போல இருக்கு. கொஞ்சம் எடு. ஹலோ ஹலோ கேக்குதா இப்போ? ஹலோ ஓகே தென் ஐ அம் ஆடிபிள். Okay then. Thank you ma. Sorry. Okay, let's pass on. Lots of network issue. My mobile has got no charge. Busy with the sports day. I'm very sorry. Okay. So now what happens is, when we think about the world today, it's very, very complex. And we have different approaches to curriculum. This interdisciplinary curriculum is supposed to be one of the best curriculums as it helps us to solve the day-to-day problems. So we have not only one problem, we have environmental issues, we have equal wage issue, we have the disparity with the rich and poor, we have the disparity in the present education system of the student. Some people study in ICSE, some people in CBSE, some in Samachar Kalvi. We have reservations, so many other issues. Okay. And because, and when we go for jobs, students have to face a lot of issues in the concern where they work. And when they study something in a compartmental, airtight compartment basis, they are not able to understand how to apply one discipline to other. If I am an economics graduate, I know only to solve a problem through economic field. But generally to solve a social issue problem or a problem concerning to a firm regarding the wages or something like that, I cannot just think of one subject which will help me to solve the problem. I should be able to understand how the various disciplines will help me to solve the problem. That is how this interdisciplinary approach came into Um, I'll manage. That's how the interdisciplinary approach came into the education system. The educationists felt that when we teach students subjects or disciplines in compartmental basis, they are not able to link one subject with the other subject, and they also don't know how to apply what they learn in the daily classroom to real life context. So that is where the educationists thought about interdisciplinary approach, and they felt that this interdisciplinary approach should be applied even from the lower classes. Okay, that's how it came. What is it? What is it? Let's think, what is it? So it is nothing but it is a cooperation between two or more links, okay, two or more subjects. In such a way that each subject will interact with the other, and the students can understand how to solve the day-to-day life issue. As Plato says, unity as the highest good in all things. This is what Plato said so many centuries ago. And so nothing can be in isolation. Everything has to come together, and we have to learn all the subjects together. But this will cause a lot of challenge to the present day teacher, because when I am a physics teacher, or I am a chemistry teacher, or I'm a psychology teacher, I am thorough with only that subject, but I don't know how to apply something from the other subject into my subject. So that is the issue which we as teachers will be able to will we have to face when we try to use this approach in our class. Okay, and what happens is, when I know a particular subject, I know the content of the subject, I will be the knowledge of the subject, I will know to use the knowledge of that particular subject in my daily life. So I'll be able to use it independently, and I'll be able to understand that there is no single discipline. There are several disciplines, and all the disciplines, though they are independent of each other, we have to try to link them together and have such an interaction that we are able to teach. Just think about teacher education. We say B.Ed is teacher education, but we are taught arts, we are taught psychology, we are taught technology. So when I want to become a teacher, I can't become unidisciplinary. I have to be multidisciplinary. I have to learn many from different subjects. Only when I learn from different subjects, I'll be able to be a perfect teacher. So that's called interdisciplinary subject. So coming to what is a few examples of interdisciplinary subjects, right? Like education is a combination of philosophy, psychology, sociology, economics, technology, etc. So talk about biophysics. Biophysics is used in many aspects. Okay, it's a combination of biochemistry, physical chemistry, nanotechnology, bioengineering, computational biology, biomechanics, and system biology. So all this combined to form biophysics. So now, because of this interdisciplinary concept, many courses like BSc Biotechnology, BSc Biophysics, all the subjects have started. Even if you talk about economics, when you start talk about economics, when you study about, you should study about sociology, you should study about culture, you should study about econometrics, statistics, mathematics. All this will come into economics. When you talk about meteorology, geography, the environmental conditions, all this will come into this subject. So no subject can be learned on its own. So this is the concept from why it evolved. Why this interdisciplinary approach? When I talk about why this is an interdisciplinary approach, actually there are so many things. I said you, the world is complex. We have to solve a lot of problems. Okay, and we have to answer many questions. Okay, when we have to answer many questions, when I start try to combine one knowledge with the other knowledge and try to find a solution to some problem, I will create an idea of my own. And when I want to create an idea of my own, what I will do is I try to understand the particular problem in multiple viewpoints. Okay, when I understand the problem in multiple viewpoints, only then I will be able to solve the problem. A very, very simple problem. When government fixes minimum pay wages, they like to 300 rupees per day or 500 rupees per day. Okay, at that time, the government should think about the poverty, the number of people who are in the poverty, what is the living conditions today, what is the inflation today, how many people are under poverty line. So many other aspects, and how many people are dependent on agriculture. How was agriculture on that day? So all these concepts has to be taken together and evaluated in a deeper sense to understand and get a solution to a problem. So this is why we need. So this develops is interdisciplinary learning. They develops critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, and it also develops hands-on experience because the children are given research works, projects, they have to enact some drama, or they have to write a skit for a social issue. So when they do all this, if I tell you that if I give a project like, if I give you a project like, prepare a skit to create a sense of environmental awareness among students or global warming. At that time, what you will do, you'll collect a lot of information from different subjects. Okay, you'll find out the crux of all the points and try to create a skit. And when you're writing a script for the script, you'll also learn language. Okay, you know how to enact. Okay, arts also is combining on this. Okay, so what happens is, so the students learn so many things. So they are able to know. When I go to a class, I learn algebra. Okay, I learn psychology, but I don't know how to apply this. When I use this interdisciplinary approach, whatever knowledge the teacher gives me, I know to apply that practically in my real life. So because of that, what happens is I develop problem solving skills. I develop critical thinking skills. Once I develop this problem solving and critical thinking skills, what will happen? Naturally, I become very confident. I'm confident to face my career. I'm confident to face my reality in my life. This develops lot of self-efficacy. I become very efficient because I have been used in my own classrooms. The teachers help me to learn what I am doing. Okay, so that helps me to develop self-efficacy, and it helps me to do so many other things. Okay, ma'am, next slide. Okay, now coming to the aims of interdisciplinary education. So what happens? First aim is to analyze and synthesize the ideas I attain in the classroom. So to analyze and synthesize, that means if I am learning mathematics, I should know to analyze mathematics. Okay, and if I am learning physics, I should know to analyze physics, understand, have a deeper understanding of the subject which I'm learning. It is not in the memory level, it is in the application level. Okay, it is in the application level, judgment level, clarification level. So it is not just rote memorizing what I learned, even if it be mechanics or energy or anything in physics or chemistry, I should learn the application of it. Okay, now you think I'm having some problem which will require some mathematical skills, naturally, and some physical science, physics skills, and some biological science skills. I should be able to analyze biology and find out from biology what I can take and solve this problem. From physics, what concept I should take and solve this problem. From chemistry, what I should take and solve this problem. Okay, I'll tell you about a small issue. We have a bridge in Perambur. I don't know how many of you know Perambur. There's a place called Perambur. They were trying to they construct one bridge for many years. They were trying to construct, and the engineers of the corporation, they gave it to a person who was going to do it, but he was not able to solve this problem. Then after 4 or 5 attempts, every time they were putting the pillars were going down. Okay, so they were using only 1 or 2 subjects to solve the problem. Then what they did is they went to IIT and they approached the IIT people to come and solve this problem. So those IIT people, the research persons from different departments, IIT, they came and did the soil testing and everything. The civil department, the mechanical department, might be the people who tested the soil, the architects, all of them came together and they were able to solve the issue. They found there was some issue with the mud and the soil was very loose, and they gave a solution. The bridge was after 5 years, they were not able to do anything. Only IIT people were able to solve and they were able to construct the bridge because they used a multidisciplinary approach for solving that problem. So that is the significance of multidisciplinary approach. Okay, and when we use this multidisciplinary approach, naturally in our classrooms, we can't go and use that like a sage on the stage. I can't stand on the stage and just give lecture. That will not happen in a multidisciplinary approach classrooms. Okay, there what I should do is I should think of a concept or a problem or a theme or something like that, an area which needs some solution or which needs some more brainstorming. I will go and I will discuss that with my class and demonstrate how interdisciplinary learning can be done, and put them into groups and ask them to think on their own and try to do the reference and solve the issue. So by this, what happens is, at the main is to engage in activities. My main aim is to make the students engage in activities of different areas, and also to cater to the demand of ever increasing society in terms of knowledge and population, because we have a big population actually in India. Okay, we have a big population, but they say that around only around 30% of the engineers are employable. What's the reason for that? Only 30% of the engineers coming out from the engineering colleges are employable, because they don't have this analysis synthesis skills. They don't know how to solve problems. They don't know multidisciplinary approach. They don't know how to apply what they learn. They have studied engineering, they have passed the examination, they have submitted that year-end project also. In spite of that, they are not able to, they're not able to get jobs, because they don't have the creative skill and critical thinking and problem solving skills. They don't know how to apply what they learn in the real life. That is the reason why people don't get jobs. So if we want the human resource development of the country, if we want our population to get jobs and succeed in life, what we need to do is we need to increase the employability skills of our next generation. And that will be possible only when we have interdisciplinary approach. So that they will develop a skill where they will be able to transfer the skills that they learn in the college or in the school. So that is the main objective, to establish integration of the curriculum, to engage the students in active learning, and to supply a human resource to the society which will help the society and the nation to develop. So these are the main aims. Okay, coming to the need, I've already spoken, need of the hour. Now we need problem solvers. We have so many issues, not one issue. Garbage is an issue. Global warming is an issue. Population explosion is the issue. The gap between the poor and the rich is an issue. Okay, mass engineers all want to become engineers. That is a big issue. Okay, so many issues we have in medicine also. So we want what we see, the world has got so many issues, and when we have so many issues, we should see the world as a whole, not in compartments. So this is it. And one more thing is, even though I am an art student, I should also know to utilize. You think I'm telling, no, I am a teacher educator. I did only my MPhil in English and PhD in education. I cannot use technology. I will not be able to make a PPT. Okay, I can't tell that, because I've come to a field where I have to utilize even science in my subject. And it will also help us to cope with transformation. Every day, a society develops only when there is a transformation. We have different eras. We have the industrial era, we had the agricultural era, the scientific era, the industrial era. Now we have the technological era. So when there is a transformation from one generation to the next generation, we have lots of issues, and we have to solve that issue. Somebody is asking for the feedback link now itself, ma'am. I don't know why. You give the feedback link, they have to leave, I think. Ma'am, you can pass on to the next slide. Okay, next what happens is, so this is why, so because of this complex society, we have to think of, now you think about things like Uber, Swiggy, Ola, how all this evolved? Did you think about Amazon? All this lay before. We have a Flipkart. All these were not needed. But as this society became complex, life became busy, people did not know how to have the time to cook. At the time, what happened? The life became complex. We had less time to cook. Some people who are very intelligent, they understood the society and they developed something called Swiggy, Ola, Uber, and see how successful business those are. Those people have introduced interdisciplinary approach. So without interdisciplinary approach, no one can become such big person. Even if you can think, all the innovators have become innovators and become big entrepreneurs because they have used interdisciplinary approach. So even if you want to become a rich man and a popular man, you also have to use even if you're a teacher, you also have to become an interdisciplinary teacher. Okay, coming to the teachers, I'll just before I pass on, we teachers generally we don't talk about team teaching and all, but in foreign, no, it's a very simple concept. Anything they want to teach, they will not teach physics separately, they will not teach chemistry separately. They always have this team teaching. When they teach a concept, they will see that there's a conceptual teaching. That's called conceptual teaching or skill-based teaching. What they do is, now you think they want to talk about environmental awareness or environmental crisis or population. The subject teachers who are pertaining to that particular field, must be the economics or sociologists, and the someone from the biological science, all will come together and they will tell what type of project or what type of activities can be done in the classroom to create the awareness of population and its impact. So that is very interesting in the foreign countries. Okay. So now coming to what is structural knowledge and what we do in the classes. Teaches something. You think she teaches us about compounds. Okay, we learned about compounds, or we learned about aquatic life. Okay, so when we learned about aquatic life, it's called declarative knowledge. The teacher tells the animals or the beings that live in the water are called aquatic life, and they just tell us about things and all that. If we talk about something like a weighing machine or a computer, I just tell this is a computer and how it works. I just make them understand what the particular thing is and how it works. That is called declarative knowledge. I don't go further. I don't go, like when I'm teaching algebra, I teach only algebra. I don't tell my teach my children generally how this algebra can be applied. When we teach trigonometry, if I'm talking about trigonometry, I teach sine theta, cot theta, tan, everything I teach them. Okay, I teach everything to them. I give them what is that. But how many of your teachers have really taught you how to, they teach you how to convert from this formula to that formula? It's called procedural knowledge. They teach you steps of construction, all that they teach you. But none of the teachers have taught us how to combine this declarative knowledge and the procedural knowledge into a structural knowledge. So I have a declarative knowledge. My teacher has taught me about formulas of trigonometry. Okay. Then I also, teachers have taught me how to solve problem, how to go step by step solving the trigonometric problems. But she has never taught me how can I find out how far is the ship from where I am. This can be done by trigonometry. If I stand on a lighthouse, if I see a ship from the lighthouse, if I know trigonometry, if I know the declarative knowledge and also the procedure knowledge, if my teacher had taught me how to combine the declarative knowledge and the procedural knowledge and use it in day-to-day life, then I would have got the structure. I would know how to apply what I have learned. This is what I want to tell you. So if such a context comes, if I give a student the thing, what happens then he will be able to solve. If I've taught him how to apply trigonometry, he would be able to find out how far is the ship from the lighthouse. But that none of our teachers taught us. So this is one problem which we face. And next slide. Next, coming to why should we have? Okay, so this particular concept was conceptualized by the Science and Research Institute of Colleto College. They identified the following skills which will be developed. The mental skills which will develop. Okay, now coming to recognizing biases. What is my bias? So I also have a bias. I think that no science teacher has to enter my class, and I can't study science and English together. I can't study physics and mathematics together. I can't study sociology and physics together. This is a bias which I have. I say I think that I cannot, it is not at all possible. But when you start teaching them through interdisciplinary learning, they will overcome this bias. What bias? That we have to understand one issue in using one subject. This bias they'll understand it. And they will understand how to form a conceptual framework of a particular thing. They'll have a broader perspective of whatever they learn. They learn more facts. But when I go and teach in the class, what I'm going to do this, how I'm going to apply this. But when you teach them that these facts will be applied in this place, they'll be ready to learn the facts. When you teach only facts, students, what should I memorize? My son used to ask me, why should I learn these dates in science, in social studies, in history? Why should I learn? Why should I learn social studies at all? But actually, at that time, my teachers did not teach us. Actually, when we learn history or something, We learn what mistakes our ancestors have done. We learn that we have to not again commit the same mistakes now. Okay, like caste system is one big issue. This is a big mistake which our previous generations had. That is a big issue now. Okay, so we understand. So when I think about the issues, when I understand that one subject can be combined with other subject, I will accept. I'll be open-minded. Okay, I'll try to adapt to different types of methodologies. Like a science teacher can ask them to write an essay, ask them to enact a play, okay, ask them to write a poem on science. So she can use different methodologies for teaching. So the bias that it should be only monodisciplinary teaching will be gone. Okay, this is the first thing. Second thing is they develop critically. Naturally, they will think critically because they have multiple viewpoints. So what is the critical thinking and what is creative thinking? Let us think the difference. Creative thinking is having many answers for one problem. Okay, thinking something new, something innovative. Okay, that is called creative thinking. What is critical thinking? Critical thinking is finding one solution from one problem. Okay, it's called critical. So for creative thinking, the thinking is diversified, but in critical thinking, it is called one-way thinking. Okay, so what happens? So when I think of critical thinking, because I have the structural knowledge, I have declarative knowledge, I have the declarative knowledge, have the procedural knowledge, and I also have the structural knowledge. So I'm able to, because I have the structural knowledge, I am able to think critically and I'm able to solve the problems. So I know the process and I deal with the problem. So what happens is, because of that, I develop creativity. I develop problem solving ability. Next one is called embracing ambiguity. Ambiguity means I have lots of conflicts. I have a lot of shortcomings. I don't understand what is this, how this can. Generally, when you start this in the lower classes, when you ask students that write a small poem on your mother, they'll be very shocked. Why teacher is asking me to do something on my own? All these days, the teacher used to give me some information and she used to ask me to memorize and write. Suddenly she's confused. Okay. So when you use a multidisciplinary approach, when you start using it, the students will understand there is no conflict. This is the way of life. This is how we are going to live, and they will understand the shortcomings of single discipline. Okay, and they'll be able to have a clear future. Next, coming to, they will be analyzing ethical concerns. What do you mean by ethical concerns? Okay, now you think that I'm a scientist. You think about this COVID. Okay, there are many people who were producing vaccines for COVID. Okay, some companies were very quickly producing vaccines, like the Pfizer vaccine and all that. They did not even think of the ethical issues after 10 years, what the problem is going to be, because they were not concerned of the society after 10 years, what effect it's going to have after 10 years. But Indian people who produce the vaccines, they really analyzed, they knew that this vaccine is going to go into a human being. It is not necessary that we have to solve the problem immediately, but we should also think of the future of mankind. That is an ethical issue. Am I doing justice? Am I doing the right? I am doing the wrong. All these concerns will come when I use interdisciplinary learning only, because I know different subjects. So I understand that I have some moral responsibilities. I have some philosophies of my own. And so that just because I'm a scientist, I can't just manufacture something and give it to the society and earn money. That's this type of responsibility coming to our students once we start using multidisciplinary approach. This is one of the best things that interdisciplinary approach can do. So it can recognize the biases. Students will confidently accept that they're going to learn it that way. They will develop critical thinking. They will have no doubts. They'll have known conflicts. They know this is what I'm going to do and this is what is going to come. So there's no ambiguity at all. They know what they're doing, and also they will be responsible citizens for the future of the world. So this is what it does. Okay. Next, coming to the instructional planning. I think I am an interdisciplinary teacher. What I'm supposed to do. Okay. These are the steps for that. First is pre-instructional planning. I should think of a theme or a topic, okay, or a problem. That's first thing. plan and establish the topic, what you're going to do with your students. That you should think. Think that your problem is, your problem can be and not being attentive, or I can tell you your problem can be absenteeism of children, okay, or late coming of students. That can be a small problem. We think it's a B.Ed classroom. I am going to teach, I'm going to use this method, okay. After that, what I'll do is, before I think, I should think of the disciplines which will come into this. So I have taken a late coming as an issue of the students. So I should think about what are the aspects which causes late coming. It's going to be physics, it's going to be mathematics, it's going to be sociology, it's going to be economics. What aspects will come into this? Okay. Then what I will do is I will go to the classroom. Okay. In this, I'll go to a teachers. I will just go to all my team teachers for team teaching. Okay. I'll go and approach my other teachers on the other subjects and sit with them and discuss with them how I'm going to go about with this topic in the class. Okay. If I have some video on late coming, I can show the video also. Okay. I can just show the video to so that will guide the students for further thinking. Okay. Or I can share a personal experience about what are the factors, why the children generally come late. Okay. So I just show them a video, or I share my personal experiences about what happens if the students come late. And I just discuss that issue. I also think in my mind what subjects can be taken in this. Okay. Next, what I do is I'll go and tell my students that, so we are going to think design thinking. So this is I'm going to use design thinking in the classroom and brainstorming in the classroom to solve the issue of late coming. Okay. So I'm going to teach them the methodology. So I'm going to use two methodologies. One is called design thinking and the other one is called brainstorming. These two techniques you think about and try to solve this problem. So I put them into small. Then I'll think, I've already planned the strategies, two strategies, design thinking and brainstorming. Then I go to my class. I will tell them the issue of late coming. I'll put them into small groups. Okay. I'll put them into small group and raise a lot of questions. I'll ask them to raise a lot of questions. I will also raise a lot of questions. Okay. Like why students come late. Okay. Are the classes very interesting or boring? All these many questions. Are the parents a cause, or do we don't have appropriate transportation? Many questions I'll ask like this. Can we change the timing of the school? All these questions I'll ask, and they also ask me a lot of questions. And then I ask them to go sit in groups and go for brainstorming. Think of all the ideas possible to reduce late coming. And after that, I ask them to put it in the form of steps. That's called design thinking. Okay. So they are able to think, come with solution only when they think in multiple disciplines. And then they come with a small script, they write a small report about what their team has thought about it, and they come and present to the class. Okay. They say that we have analyzed so many things and we have found a solution. We have collaborated together in groups, and the whole class has to be, each group is called the front and they present their report and they give us the plan for how to reduce late coming. Okay. So after this is over in the class, we have to provide feedback. How to provide feedback? We can use rubrics. I don't know how many of you know rubrics. In rubrics, see now when you go to a classroom, all the learners are not same. Each learner come from different backgrounds, have different IQ level, and all the students will not be interested in the same thing. So when I provide feedback, I should not provide feedback based on the outcome. I should also provide feedback based on the process of coming to the outcome. So I should not give a feedback based on the report of the project. When they are having this interaction in the classroom, I have to go from one group to another and see how they are participating, what is the thought process. So when I give them the feedback, I should give them feedback not only in the cognitive level, but all the three domains: affective, psychomotor, and cognitive. Okay, how was the social skills? Were they confident? Were they able to express their ideas? Were their ideas innovative? All this I have to discuss with them. So I can use a rubrics for that. What's a rubrics? It is a format of evaluation in which we have many dimensions of evaluating, like communication skill, confidence, originality, project report. So these I can give 5 marks for each, and I should evaluate each and every students and call them separately and give them the feedback how good they were at interdisciplinary thinking. Okay. Next, coming to the assessment. It's not only the teacher who has to assess, it's also foolproof. How? Okay. Okay. That's make it full. That's why we have to use rubrics. To make the assessment feedback foolproof, not biased. If I use a rubrics to give a feedback, the student understands his weakness, where he's weak and where he's strong. Might be he's very innovative in his ideas, but he's not able to put it in the paper. So it all depends. So when I use a rubrics and give them a feedback, it's very clear that the child can question me, ma'am, I am good at this skill. Why did you give me a C grade in this? I'm good at this skill. Why did you give me a B grade in this? The student is very clear about what skill he has to develop. Okay, so for that you can use a rubric. If you don't know what is a rubric, please get back and just check what is a rubric. Next, coming to the assessment. Assessment also should be self. It is not only teachers who has to assess. Self-evaluation is the best evaluation. Every step when I am participating in this interdisciplinary thinking, I should think, am I using the knowledge which I learned in physics to solve this problem? Can I use something from social studies? Can I use something from science? Can I use something from psychology? I should think that way. So I should assess myself on my own. And what I should be able to understand in what I am good and what I am bad. I should have a multidisciplinary thinking. Okay, so this is called assessment. So this is the steps which are involved in interdisciplinary teaching. So I said interdisciplinary teaching cannot be done by a single teacher. We have to sit together with other subject teachers, think of themes, problems, concepts, and sit together, and we have to do this. Okay, so there are 3 phases. One is called the demonstration phase, the implementation phase, and the feedback phase. These are 3 phases. Ma'am, next slide. Ma'am, okay. So this is the procedure. Okay. So the content, what I'm going to teach is the content, the topic, the issue, the theme, problem, that is the subject. There is no physics, there is no algebra. So, okay. So this is the subject what I'm going to teach. What I'm going to teach is the topic what I'm going to teach, the issue what I'm going to discuss in the class, the theme which I'm going to other problem what I'm going to teach. This is going to be the subject what the students are going to learn. Okay. And then what skills or what is going to happen, the activity phase. It's called the activity phase. In this, what I have to do, I have to benchmark the students' learning. So the students have to develop this much of critical thinking. They should develop reading with comprehension. They should develop analyzing skills. So I should benchmark. These are the skills the students have to develop by learning this particular issue or a theme. So I have to benchmark. Only when I benchmark, I will be able to evaluate. If I don't benchmark the student's goals without critical thinking, then I can't give him grade. So I always have to do benchmarking. Benchmarking is very, very important part. If I don't benchmark in this interdisciplinary learning, I will not know how to evaluate. Benchmark is very, very essential for evaluation. Okay. And how to assess is nothing but it is how to demonstrate the school. Either they have to come and orally present what they are thinking about, or they have to write in the form of projects, or they have to make a small mind map of what they think, or they have to stand up in the class and discuss with the class. All this are there, or they have to prepare. I am telling as students that we are going to go to Greece or Paris, okay, and you plan an itinerary for going. So the whole itinerary should be exactly. It's a shift to the liberal studies. Now exactly, it's called that's going to be the education system for the future. The liberal studies is going to be the education system for future. IIT Madras has started a lot of courses in liberal studies, and many other institutions are starting courses in liberal studies. And what I get to understand from what my son says is, when he employs students from liberal arts, he feels that they are better than the normal arts and science students, because he generally recruits people for his firm, and he says that they have better understanding, better problem solving ability, better application skills than the students who are studying in normal arts and science colleges. Liberal arts is one of the booming courses. If you have children who have to study in the future, put them in IIT or some other big institutions, liberal arts courses, very, very good, because they have interdisciplinary learning there. Okay, here what happens? Here, this is the step. They identify the problem. They try to analyze and find out disciplinary insight. From different disciplines, they get the insight, then they integrate the whole thing together and they understand the problem and create the situation. So this is what happens in interdisciplinary classrooms. Can I have the next slide, ma'am? Okay, what does it do? Okay, promotes foundation knowledge. What knowledge? Acquiring information and understanding ideas. This is called foundation knowledge. Second, what they learn? They learn application. I already said how, when to use the skill. They learn a lot of skills and they also learn where. We also go to lab. I also remember going to my physics lab. I also remember going to my chemistry lab and doing titrations. I remember going to biology lab in 11th and 12th. I did a lot of dissections in biology lab. But I don't know where to apply all this. I did not apply all this in my life. Might be because I shifted from one. But really, we do so many things in our science labs, but we don't know where to take it in real life. We don't know the application concept. Next, it develops integration, connection. It develops a human dimension. I told you, no, science is not science. It's also social science. It's also ethics. So the human dimension of everything. When I learn physics, I can't be a scientist alone. I should also know about human feelings, how it's going to impact the society, how it's going to impact the environment. You talk about ACs. We are all using so much of ACs. We feel hot. We are not even little. It is hot. We want to put on the AC. But do any of us think about the impact we are doing on the global warming? None of us think about that because we don't have the human dimension. Nobody has taught us that. We learn to care because most of the activities happen in groups. We value others' feeling. We don't interrupt when the others are talking. Okay, we know to talk politely. We don't raise our voice. We know what the other person likes, what the other person thinks is important. All this understanding also develops. Okay, so I develop not only my emotional intelligence, intellectual intelligence, I also develop my emotional intelligence by this. They also learn to develop. They understand that learning is not through one way. Learning can be through different ways. It's not only the book and me. It's not only the notes and me. There are many other ways of learning by doing and all that they understand. And next slide, ma'am. Okay, this is a small slide of what I said. The same thing what I spoke about, increased critical thinking, problem solving. The students are highly engaged and every student has its own style and its own strength. So when they participate in group activities, whatever the person's strength is, he will exhibit that. Okay, and what happens is because he's very student centric, he's always open because he says, students, ma'am, I want to do this today. Can we do this? So this, and you give him an open hand. You say that come on. He says, today, ma'am, I want to learn how to make a rocket today. He might tell you this. I want to know how rocket works. Can you explain that? So when students on demand, it's called on-demand learning. It's also called on-demand because it's on-demand learning. The students are interested in the topics. This is another big thing about, and so it's very much student-centric. This is one thing which is very good about interdisciplinary learning. Next slide, ma'am. Okay, next coming to, this is again, I am ready to learn. I have a deeper understanding. I'm open-minded because you give me opportunity to learn by doing. So I'm always open-minded to new ideas. I am not against. I'm always. I said you that the people who are unidisciplinary, they are very rigid. They are not open to learning. But these people, they are very much open to learning and concepts. Next slide, ma'am. Okay, I'll just discuss. High rigor. They are very energetic. If you go to an interdisciplinary classroom in Pune, you see some videos. I watched some 2-3 videos yesterday. It's so interesting. I could not download those videos. I didn't have the time for it. But I did watch some videos about, but not in Indian classroom situations. It's all in classrooms in the abroad. Even small children in the grade 2 and grade 3, they were taught by this approach. It was very interesting. See how they do it. If you have time, just watch those videos. You'll understand better. They have high rigor. The feedback will be given. Just 5 more minutes. Just wait. Okay. So what happens is they have high rigor. Even like we said, dull. His boy is useless. He'll not learn anything. He doesn't show interest. He has no energy for learning. Okay, but in this type of learning, because you give him challenges, all of us like we say eating rusk. No, risk is a rusk, like eating rusk. We say risk is because all of us like rusk. Because what happens? No, when you give me a challenging situation, you put me a challenging situation. You make me think more. When you make me think more and more involved, I feel happy. I feel happy. So whenever I involve my children more in the learning process, maybe they have a very low EQ, but when they feel that I am involved, I am going to contribute to something to the learning, they will be having a lot of enthusiasm. Okay, and they will start participating, and they have so much of energy to do the work. Okay, and they're able to concentrate on the work, and they're able to contribute more. So they have high rigor. You can't tell that slow learners, even slow learners will, you see, you do some activity in the class, you will see the students who are sitting simply and sleeping in the class, they will come and participate. So this is one particular benefit. Then next is highlighting students' voice. Because this is student-centered approach, it is student-driven. So what happens is you give the students a lot of power. Okay, so students like to have power. They like to have control over their own learning. So what happens is when you give the students a lot of power, they are able to raise their voice. Not raise means not shout at you. They are able to voice out their thoughts. Okay, and they are able to analyze. They are able to synthesize. They are able to reflect. Okay, and in fact, the student is happy. When the student is happy, the teacher also is happy. And you are happy because you feel that yes, I have made an impact on my student's life. The student is going back with a purpose. He understands why he is learning. So that gives you a happiness. And the student is happy because he goes back feeling that, oh, this is what I have learned and this is what I'm going to do in my life with this. Okay. Next, coming to building community connections naturally, because most of the things we do in the classroom is real life, real problem. So what happens is students are able to build a community connection. They're able to get most of the issues which I discussed will have certain link with the community. Okay, and they feel that they are organized, and they are able to feel that they are working, they are becoming more responsible for the society. They feel that I am also a part of society and help the society to develop. This will build a community connection between them. And this will also cultivate future readiness. I said you about jobs. They are ready for jobs because of interdisciplinary learning. They're ready for jobs. Okay, and they feel empowered. They know they become thinkers. They become collaborators. They become problem solvers. Okay, and they are able to understand the world better, and they work for the practical good of the society and themselves also. So this is another big benefit of interdisciplinary learning. Now, next slide. I've almost done the conclusion part of the thing. Now, when we have this interdisciplinary learning, what happens is we see the world as a whole. Okay, so what happens is I may become a successful person, a successful citizen, a productive worker. Okay, and so I go back thinking that I can do anything for the world. I can contribute to the world. I can contribute to my family. I can contribute to myself. If I have any personal problem, I know to solve my problems. I know whom to approach, how to approach. Even small issues at home, I'll be able to solve. In a family, I'll be able to solve. In the community, I will be able to solve. Even my job place, I'll be able to solve. And I know how to collaborate, how to communicate, everything I learn. So this makes life more meaningful, not only for me, it makes life meaningful for my students, for the community, and for the whole world. So education is nothing but contribute to the society. Interdisciplinary learning will help you to contribute to the society and the welfare of the world. Thank you, ma'am. Now the time is for questions, girls. You can ask me as many questions as possible. I'll answer.
Dear participants, if you have any query, kindly type in chat box.
Dear participant, do you have any questions? You can chat it in box.
Type the question in the chat box. I have some problem with my mic. I think I'm not able to listen to what you're speaking. I'm able to. You're. Put it in the chat box. I'll reply in the chat box also. I saw a question like, what are the challenges? 1 second, you're running, the questions are running. 1 second, I'll go to the questions. What kind of activities should I give? Okay. I can't tell you this is, you can give them a writing a skit, you can give them a problem, I late come, you can ask them to write a report, ask solutions, you can ask them to solve some problem which they encounter in the society, anything. It all depends on your creativity. I can't tell you this activity or that activity. That's why I said there are a lot of videos on interdisciplinary learning in the net. You can think of what activity you can do. Okay, there's no thing you can ask them to prepare a mind map, you can ask them to prepare an itinerary, you can ask them to prepare and presentation, you can ask them to do a project, you can ask them to conduct a small research, you can take them for a field trip, you can do anything where they learn through doing. You can take them for an industrial visit, you can do anything what you want.
Actually, one more question, ma'am, from the chat box. What are the challenges to implementing interdisciplinary learning for educators?
Organizers. If you want, you can take it, girls. Ma. It's nothing of my own. I have taken something from the net, put it together. Activities for English, very good. I said again, don't talk English. We can combine English with ethics, psychology, all that. Social. Now, if you want to, writing a skit in English, writing a poem, reading a newspaper, reading some 4 newspaper and finding the difference in the languages. Anything it can be. Even writing a letter, writing a complaint letter also can be an activity. When I want to write about a complaint letter about the condition of my road, okay, I should also know a little of physics. I should know about little of measurements and all that. You can do any activity in English. Lots of activities are there. %, you can implement. The change has to come in us, not anybody. We know, Leah, the change has to come in us, the educators. We have to accept team teaching first. We should give up our ego. We have a big ego as teachers. I should not tell this. We don't want to interact with our fellow teachers. So you look in the foreign, we'll have 2, 3 teachers in the same classroom. If we are ready to do that, we can implement this very easily. If you have a biology teacher, if you have a physics teacher and a chemistry teacher for a particular problem in the same classroom and students can ask doubts and clarify, that will be the best way to learn things, teach things and learn things. Very challenging, as I said, very, very challenging. It's not that easy. Open-mindedness is a challenge. Open-mindedness among children, students, and open-mindedness education, the policy makers, everyone have to open up. Like liberal arts is not a part of a traditional university. If you talk about liberal arts courses, none of the traditional universities have liberal arts. All the deemed universities and IITs, they have liberal arts, because even now, the old traditional universities are not accepting that's something called liberal arts. So that is a big challenge now. That's it. First, our policymakers have to accept that something called liberal arts. That's a big challenge. We have to make our policymakers understand this. No, everybody, they will cope up because everybody will, it's not, see here, no, everybody doesn't have the same IQ. I think I'm answering Gerald Emmanuel's question. She says how to cope up with different type of students. Actually, our students will be different. We have to accept this difference, okay? But they will, when they see the way others approach the problem and solve the problems, they will understand that they can also do. They learn from the others. Most of the learning what students do in primary institutions, they learn from their seniors. So when they learn from the peer, they learn better than from the teacher. And they learn better when they learn on their own, when they explore on their own. Okay, you just have to teach them how to explore, how to search, what to refer, how to sit and discuss things out. All this, just show them the path, they will learn. That's it. And how they've also learned how to handle information. You tell them, teach them what is relevant information, what is irrelevant information. For a few 1 or 2 years, you have to train them in all this. Then they'll understand what to do and what not to do.
Thanks a lot, madam. Very nice presentation. Rita, madam. Rita, madam. Hello. Can you hear me, madam?
She couldn't hear, ma'am. She couldn't hear.
Okay, anyway, my thanks to all the participants and everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. The future is built on the flow of new ideas. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your valuable thoughts with us. The session was thought provoking, ma'am. No duty is more urgent than giving time. Thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude.
Ma'am, thank you, ma'am. I am leaving. I have to run for the sports day rehearsal. I'm sorry for such
It's
a
okay,
lot
ma'am.
of disturbances today. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Vinolia, you proceed.
Now I invite Mrs. Vinolia to propose the vote of thanks.
I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of Faculty of Education, Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute, on this indelible occasion. We render our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Rita Rani Mandal, Assistant Professor, Lady Wellington Institute of Advanced Study in Education, Chennai, for sparing her valuable time amidst us today. Ma'am, your elaborate speech has enhanced our knowledge about multidisciplinary teaching and the ease to solve our real-time problems using multidisciplinary approach. Thank you, ma'am. We articulate our unfeigned thanks to our Honorable President, Engineer ACS Arun Kumar Sir, for granting us permission and providing all the facilities to conduct the event. We convey our sincere thanks to Dr. K. Geeta, Principal, Faculty of Education, Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute, for her guidance and support. We express our deep sense of gratitude to all the heads, professors, research scholars, and students for being with us and making this event more valuable. Finally, we acknowledge all the hard work and dedication of all the teaching staffs, research scholars, non-teaching staffs, and students. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Vinolia, for your gratitudinal note. Dear participants, today's feedback link is posted in chat box. Kindly fill it. Feedback link is posted in chat box. Dear participant, kindly fill it. Thank you.